Hello guys, my name is JP. Welcome back to Minecraft. Killing some zombies. Oops, stay still. Hey. Hey, It's the funny thing about Minecraft bows. They don't shoot exactly on the little dot. They don't shoot exactly on the crosshair. At least not every time. So go out there and get that. So today, one thing you'll probably see as soon as I walk in here. I have the bacon. I have it with haste 2. It just lets me obliterate cobble anywhere near that thing. It's like mining netherrack. It is quite ridiculous. But that's not why we're here today. What has become kind of my thing for during the day, because I don't do much anymore. I sit here, I play some games, record, and that's about it. Recording is very, very infrequent. It's part of what I do, so I'm including it. Other than that, that's like all I do. I cook, I clean first lately. Yeah, I just don't do much. But what I do is, while I play stuff, I tend to, like if I'm playing Minecraft or Kerbal Space Program or anything where I'm just kind of anything that isn't really sound reliant. I mean, the game has sounds, but they're all just kind of background noise. I've started listening to podcasts while I just play. That's kind of become my thing. It definitely passes some time, because otherwise there ain't shit. I kind of want to go back into this. This is the only one I've really been in. You can even see I dug straight down. I'd have to bring that. You know what? I'm gonna bring the beacon. That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna bring that beacon over here and set it up so I can go down there. Because while that thing seems safe, because I don't recall there being any guardians in there at all. I think there's still the boss guardian, because the second you go down there, you get the face and the mining fatigue. So haste, I don't know if haste 2 is enough to cancel out mining fatigue. Might have to take some milk or something. Yeah, I'll do that. I've been hearing spider noises. Yes, there's some kind of cave under here, but I've never been able to find it. I'm using the haste to mine the beacon itself. I gotta remember to grab like a piece of iron or something to go in there. Don't let me forget. As if you can tell me things from the future. From the future? Yeah, I guess it is the future. Let's see this. What's way of thinking? That's a sound. That's kind of cool. I'm afraid to grab this thing with anything but silk touch. I'm sure it's fine. But but I'm kind of old school with the mentality on this thing. Like, I feel like if I grab it with anything other than if it looks like it's made of glass, I feel like I have to grab it with silk touch. Applies to like ice, glass, of course. I feel like it's just gonna poof. And that was, I don't want to say it was a bitch to get because I have pretty good armor with one piece of blast resistance. But still, I don't want to do that again. That's the kind of stuff I just do on my own now, because if you want to see somebody beating a wither, there's 1,000 other YouTube channels for that. It's been done a lot. I feel like I'm not really mining this any faster than I was. Well, I feel like with Haste 2 I wasn't going any faster than I was with that. Okay, that's already. Grab a piece of something. So yeah, on to the podcasts. I want to talk about a few of the ones I listen to, just because I have like no iron left after that. I ended up with a lot extra of everything else when I went looking for it finally. But man, I thought I had enough iron. That was barely enough iron. And I made some rails too, and that's where a lot of it went, but not a whole lot of iron left. Okay, so most of the podcasts, I listen to everything on Spotify, so if it's not available on Spotify, I haven't really bothered with it. Just because, I mean, I'm used to using Spotify. Like interface, it works on all my devices, including my Windows phone, which is becoming increasingly rare. Like to have something cross-compatible that works on my Windows phone. And with the podcast, I don't even need premium. It doesn't play any ads on them because it's one long track, so it works perfect. Of course, these days, most podcasts are advertised upon by the podcasters themselves, but it could be a lot worse. I'm gonna chop these trees and set it up here. The bottom is 9 by 9. Yeah, okay, the bottom's 9 by 9. It's always hard to remember. For me it is, for some reason. I don't exactly go around building beacons. So yes, the podcasts. I use Spotify for it. Works pretty good. So on this list, I actually wrote out the little list. I have a little notepad open in the background, kind of. Probably the one I've been listening to the most is Armchair Expert. It's hosted by an actor, Dax Shepard. He was in Idiocracy, Without a Paddle, a few other things. Anyway, the most important thing is he's an actor, so it's something of a celebrity podcast. Most of the people he talks to are either celebrity or other prominent types. But despite that, it's a very, at least given the people involved, it's a very kind of down to earth. The people talk about stuff they probably wouldn't normally talk about. Uh, like anytime dealing with addictions, the hard stuff. It's not for everybody, but I like it. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. I just started listening to that Armchair Expert a couple of months ago, but I've pretty much completely caught up. Like, I did listen to the most recent one when, as of this recording, was he had on the guy, I forget his name already, but the guy who runs Charity Water. And even one of the first things he said to him is that he doesn't trust charities, which makes complete sense, because so many of them are run by complete assholes who, or it's either a scam or they're in it for the wrong reasons or this or that. This dude seemed to be on the level. Of course, the easy thing for it being a podcast is, well, this podcast, they have like something of a fact check at the end, or if they make any claims, the fact check lady kind of goes over at the end and corrects if needed. But for the most part, anybody can say anything on a podcast. It's just an interview. Anybody can say anything with any disregard for the truth if they so please. But the dude seemed pretty on the level, even after all that. What I've always been surprised by, like with that sort of thing, is this isn't meant as a brag. This is completely relevant for this. You can see that village from here. In 2000, well, it would have been 2011 for 2012. At the college, there's always just like an annual employee donation drive for the college. And that, all it is you pledge to either give like one time or repeating like per paycheck or month or whatever, however you so choose. They make it very easy. And I had just gotten hired there in 2011, like as full-time staff. I was making stupid money because I was working 2 jobs. Had nothing better to do. Just make money, spend money, repeat. I'm lighting all this up. So I don't want the beacon to get blown up. That would suck. But as far as the charity stuff, I gave what I thought was a small amount. I mean, given the amount of money I was making, how much I actually needed for bills and things, I was like, okay. It's like, okay, $25 a check. I get paid. You got paid twice a month there, so $25 a check. I did not think that to be very much, because to me, with the lifestyle I was living at the time and the amount of money I was making, it was not very much. It ended up that was probably one of the biggest amounts given on campus. Because, like, my brain, I did not do the math on that when I gave that much money. It was $500 for the year. Even at the end of that, I was like, oh, okay, it's $500. It ended up all that year, though, 2012, because it was such a large amount, at least to them, I kept having to kind of like meet people for it. Like it was like apparently something of a PR thing for them. Like they made kind of a big deal. Like there was like meet and greets and this and that, and I was like, I didn't think I gave a lot of money, but okay. I gave it to United Way, just $500. Let them do whatever the hell they want. United Way's alright. Don't give to Salvation Army. I mean, I'm sure they do some good work, but they're not good people. At least they're not a good organization. But there was that whole, like I said, I didn't think of anything of it. But I come to find out it was a huge amount. I got like gift certificates for places. There was a fancy, way too fancy breakfast with like the president of the college and some people from the college district. It's all kinds of stuff like that, and I was like, okay. 'Cause again, that wasn't a big deal to me. Everybody else, it was. Let's go down here. There it is. Mine the shit out of this thing. Well, it's kind of creepy in here. I swear the water enchants used to be better. Like respiration's still good, but all the water enchants got kind of nerfed with the update. I might have to go back and make some water breathing potions, just so I can. Yeah, I probably should. Let's go do that. Plus, I can go drop this stuff off and scrap it. But yeah, the only reason I mentioned the whole United Way thing at college was because apparently that is a lot of money for a lot of people. Like even these like one of the things he was saying, I mean, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell, celebrity couple, obviously making tons of money. Kristen Bell having been in Frozen, and hey, oh, let's get away from that. Even they were saying how they would run fundraisers and stuff, and they have people give like $100 and this and that, and like these celebrities are giving $100. Like, okay, I get it's a lot for one time, but I mean, apparently people can be kind of stingy when it comes to charity, which I had never really thought of before. Like I didn't consider any kind of relativity when I gave the money. I just like, what can I afford, basically. It's like, $25, that's fine. But that was a whole lot of what was that that last episode that I watched of his. Let's see, other ones I really listen to. This is kind of scatterbrained. I'm actually trying to do something in Minecraft for once while I'm doing this. I'm like, what do I need? I need the pufferfish that I caught. I was gonna get milk just in case. You see, I'm forgetting stuff left and right because I'm trying to talk and actually do things for once. But normally I'll just... Normally I do something really simple when I'm recording, like just go caving or something. It's not working for me today. Torches. What I found out is that you can't place torches underwater anymore to just get a cheap breath of air. Speed 2 potions. Don't need those. I'll need one of those. I'll need redstone for the extended, and I need to make bottles. Man, this is just one thing after another. Do I even still have glass? No, but I still have bottles. Okay. And one piece of redstone. Yeah, the Armchair Expert podcast is pretty good. It is very long. They tend to be 2 hours or longer in length, which is the reason I'm so drawn to it, as far as just playing a game and listening to it. It's not something I have to look at. There is no video involved. There's never, like, it's not one of those podcasts where they record video of it, so I don't have to worry about them like doing things visually that I pay attention to. I just have Minecraft open, listen to it, play the game, and be done. But it is a more serious podcast, like I was saying. They talk about some stuff, death, sometimes. I mean, just anything that would come up in a person's life, because the people he has on are people, first and foremost. So, I mean, they deal with things. But another podcast that I listen to, kind of along the same lines, is... It's a very new one. I think it just started in... It was either November or December. Kind of around the same time I started listening to Armchair Expert. I actually heard that. Okay, that's... I have the milk. Let's go. Yeah, the other one I started listening to right about the same time, because it just started, ended up being far better than I expected, was Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. There was something of a joke premise that is kind of the basis for the podcast, is that Conan O'Brien, while he knows all these celebrities and works with them and meets them, gets to know them obviously through the show, apparently has like no friends. There's nobody to hang out with, just works, and that's kind of what he does. So he has all these people basically to see about being his friend, come on and see how he would get along with them in a non-show setting. So it's Conan O'Brien, but it's like actually Conan O'Brien. It's much more relaxed. much more serious. The hell? Why am I not picking that up? Ain't shit here, yo. God damn, this thing's big. I'm getting lost in this thing. I can't tell where I am. Go around. But yeah, it's the podcast. It's much more serious. It's very down to earth. It's again these people talking about anything and everything in their lives, like what they've been doing, which I find oddly interesting. And I'm not really sure why. 'Cause, I mean, they're not the kind of people I would like honestly care about for the most part in any other regard. Like, I couldn't care less about these people's day-to-day life. Like, I wouldn't go to like TMZ or just go crazy and finding news about them. I just don't really care otherwise. But hearing them actually talk about it, and I don't know, it's weird to see these celebrities as people. You don't really think about that sometimes. That's another one of those definitely celebrity podcasts, like well-known celebrities. Like the last one, just from the other day, was Adam Sandler. I don't know what's up with this temple. Is there like nothing in here? Getting a lot of these blocks, but I don't really need them. This place is just floating, yo. So yeah, if you haven't guessed so far, I tend to lean toward these kind of celebrity podcasts. Just because I don't actually particularly care for people as I'm trying to figure out how to put that correctly. Like, I don't care to get to know everyday people, so a lot of times I'll know more about a celebrity than like any of my neighbors, just because they're a celebrity. I've seen them in news, movies. I know a little bit about them. And here's another one. I don't know if I want to bother going down there, because I don't think there's going to be anything down there. I think these weird, these glitch ones they're not fully formed or something. You saw it. There's no guardians. There's no nothing. It's just empty. There wasn't like any of the rooms or anything, so I think it just didn't fully form. So I'm gonna abandon that for now. I'll come back to the beacon later. Shouldn't go anywhere. I hope not. Enderman could always steal a piece. That would kind of annoy me, but eh. But yeah, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is definitely another celebrity podcast. Kind of along the same lines as Armchair Experts. Talking to people, day-to-day life kind of stuff. Another one, again, Celebrity, yes, but much, much lesser known. This is JV Club. She almost exclusively has female guests. It's Janet Varney. She was the voice of Korra in The Legend of Korra, among many other things. And it's another along the same line, celebrity podcast, but very serious. And that one's it's just another one of this the exact same thing as the other two. Maybe it's both a little more serious and a little less serious at the same time, just because they'll play little games on the podcast and just stuff like that. But since the guests are somewhat lesser known, they're usually other female actors, actresses, voice actresses and stuff. So if I gave a name and what they were from, you'd be like, oh, okay. But you wouldn't know them off the top of your head, probably. And the last one, the one that I've listened to, I don't want to say the most, but probably technically the most, because this is the one I used to listen to even a few years ago, was Trailer Park Boys. I like Trailer Park Boys podcast just because it's so odd. Like, they do the entire thing completely in character. And one of the most entertaining parts of it for me was, as we all know, in Denver, the weed is both plentiful and quite legal. So I would, in fact, just sit there in the RV at night and get stoned as hell and just listen to Trailer Park Boys podcast, and by the end of it, you don't know what's real and what isn't. Oh, that's what I heard. Little tiny cat. I mean, because they are so completely immersed in those characters. Like, you wouldn't even guess that those aren't their names, because they just respond to it so perfectly. And, like, for one thing, they do visually record the podcast. They have cameras rolling and stuff, and it's available on both their website and some of them are on YouTube. I think a lot of them are on YouTube. Maybe with some kind of delay or something. And they are baked out of their minds when they're doing this podcast. Like, you can tell, I don't know if they're actually smoking on camera or what. I'm pretty sure they are, but no joke, they are completely baked. Like, and I don't know how they're able to stay in character like that, because I don't answer to my own name sometimes. I'm just like, huh? What? But they are those characters as far as I'm concerned, and they do and argue about the strangest things on that show. And it is just beyond entertaining. Like, if you like the show at all, the podcast is somehow oddly slightly better. The show can sometimes be kind of weak with they'll get sidetracked or there'll be some kind of filler in it. But with the podcast, it is just the three of them, sometimes four, and usually like a guest. And just, it's nuts. Like, you would not, like, if you really get into it, like, as far as just straight up acting goes, that is just impossible. But let's. This episode has been going on way too long now at this point. So let's wrap this up. I've been rambling for over a half hour now about stuff that I just listened to. Probably not rambling very well. But that will do it for today. If I remember, I will maybe put links to some of the podcasts. I won't link to Trailer Park Boys because it is an adult, definitely adult podcast kind of deal. But yeah, my whole thing with the podcast is kind of horse jump the fence. God damn it. It's 2 horses. Look for entertainment in places you wouldn't normally look for this year. Because you might be surprised what you find. Whether it be podcasts, YouTube stuff, movies, new games, books, comics, just anything. Just expand your repertoire, if you will, this year of things you take in. That'll do it for today. My name is JP, and I'll see you next time.